All right, so I'm going to be going over what I call quantum weight. This is looking at the a different way of how we look at weight loss, how you look at weight in general, body composition, leanness, however you describe the body of your dreams, what you want to accomplish, what do you want to maintain, what do you want to reach. We got to look at the body differently. We've been taught that this is a calories in, calories out game, that this has been something that has been just simply what you put in your mouth. And it's much more than that. You may be asking, why the hell am I wearing these glasses, right? I'm wearing these old school headphones. Why am I doing this? Why are they wired? There's all a purpose behind all these things because we are a product of our environment. And what I want to go into today is describing really when you're trying to lose weight, what you're actually really trying to do and what is the reason why you gain weight. We think of it as energy in, energy out, and that is not wrong. However, how we gather and lose energy, I think, is misunderstood. And I want to bring awareness to you in understanding when you're losing weight, what's really going on, when you're gaining weight, what's really going on, and what is the cause behind these things to ultimately get the results that you want. So I want to give you a different outlook on this, and it's going to empower you. It's going to make you look at your environment, your world, your reality much different. Quantum is all about the small things, the small thing that make a big difference. So when we think of quantum, we're talking about energy, we're talking about atoms, we're talking about protons, electrons, and that's where it's really going to tie into weight gain. We don't think of weight gain as protons and electron imbalance. We don't, but we can call it an energy imbalance. So you're halfway there in understanding that, yes, weight gain is an energy imbalance, but we think you're taking too much energy in, when in fact it's actually the opposite. You're actually losing energy when you gain weight. And that's something that I think is going to be hard for a lot of people to understand. But when I go through this, just stay with me because you're going to understand what I mean by that by the end of this presentation, and that weight gain is actually losing energy. And by you losing body fat specifically and building and maintaining muscle, it's actually you retaining energy. You hold on to energy more. And that's powerful in health accumulation, in mastering your health. If you can hold on to energy more, that is increasing your health, right? Just as if you could hold on to your money more and make it work for you, that increases your wealth. The same thing goes with your health. If you can hold on to energy more, you are going to be healthier. So we're going to talk about how to do that. And I want to share some slides and some aspects of my screen. I'm going to kind of go back and forth here and just get into it as we go along. So stay with me here. So first and foremost, I want to talk about let's see here. Hold on. So getting into this understanding of energy in, energy out, and you feel less energy when you're overweight, that's just a prime example of literally what's going on in your body when you gain weight, is you're actually losing energy. You're not able to retain the energy that you collect. We collect energy through 3 to 4 main different ways. We collect it through water, we collect it through food, which is the most common thing that we think of. We collect it through sunlight, and we collect it through movement. And this is all an energy exchange that we go through. And I'll even say this, like, you collect it through your environment, being with people or being around people or hearing mute, like everything either energizes us or pulls energy from us, and we can all experience that. And I think acknowledge that there's energy drainers and energy enhancers in all ways, shapes, and forms. And that is really something to pay attention to, because if you're stressed all the time, right, and it's pulling energy away from you, what happens? You gain weight, right? That's the main thing that we can walk away from. There we go, Sean. What's up? Chris, we got Chris
Hey,
coming in too.
what,
What's going on, bud? And like I said to everybody, you guys can unmic anytime, share your screen anytime, or share your put your cam on, and we can be interactive here. So Chris, I was talking about how gaining weight is all about energy in, energy out, and how gaining weight actually is an energy loss. You lose energy when you gain weight, right? You have less energy. So now that we're caught up to that and just understanding that concept, it's complete opposite of what we think about, right? You eat too much and you gain weight, and we think that we're retaining too much energy when it's the complete opposite. So getting into that, going into stressful situations, stressful encounters, stress in business, stress in life, those are energy pullers, right? It pulls energy away from you. And as a result to chronic stress in any way, shape, or form, whether you call it stress eating or being in an environment that's fucking with you mentally, emotionally, physically, or anything, that is pulling energy away from you. And as a result to it, you gain weight, right? So this is about stress regulation. This is about energy conservation. When you're able to hold on to energy, you actually lose weight. You actually lose body fat, right? Body fat is the accumulation of inflammation. It's an inflammation organ. So your body inflames when it gets stressed out and loses energy. I'm going to show you an interesting slide here. And I learned this from one of my mentors that really just blew my mind when it came to understanding this concept. Is when we talk about quantum weight loss, right? Quantum weight, inflammation is loss of energy. What happens to a star when it loses energy? You know, we've heard this concept before of like, we all come from the stars. We're all from, you know, these elements that came from a supernova explosion that ultimately created the earth and our bodies and this, that, and the other. Well, literally a star inflames and gets bigger when it loses energy. You know, so it's literally the same concept as us. When you gain weight, you're losing energy, you're dispersing, you got energy leaks. You have the same construct and energy as a star. And you can break that down to the voltage of every single cell in your body. Every single cell in your body has a negative 70 trilovolt charge in it. And you got 50 trillion cells in your body right now that are constantly dying and birthing through the process of just time and biology and metabolism. And you take that charge and you've got trillions of volts of potential electricity in your body right now. So think about that in terms of conservation of energy, how you collect energy. And when we talk about energy in, energy out, I want you to go away from calories. Just empty that out right now. You know, there's a good analogy right here to weight loss, to health optimization that I talk about in the modules that I'll share right now too. I think it's just something that I think you can apply to anything in life that you're not getting the results that you want in life right now. Is this simple concept. If I have a cup in front of me and I put a cup in front of you, and let's say we fill both of these cups up, your cup is filled up with a can of Coke. I pour the can of Coke into your cup and I got a cup of water in my cup. And this cup represents my truth, my reality, my beliefs, and my way of living and doing things. And you want those results. You want that knowledge. You want to gain that perspective. I can't give you my knowledge unless you're willing to dump out what you have in your cup. You got to make room for new beliefs, new perspectives, new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing things. And so what this talk is all about is emptying your cup of the calorie in, calorie out game. Holding on to too much energy is the reason for weight gain. No, it's the complete opposite. It's actually you losing energy, which is, I think we can get down to the reality here and go, that's life threatening, right? That's a lower quality of life. That's a lower quality of experience here. So we want to enhance ourselves in all ways, shapes, and forms. You need to learn to conserve energy. You need to learn to lower the expense and the leaks that are going on, the energy leaks, and being able to plug those things up so you can enhance your own well-being, your own energy. So therefore you can make the best impact in this world. So to reverse this process of the red giant and going back into like Sirius, the brightest star in our sky at night, it's very dense, it's very tight, it's very small compared to this red giant, but it's very bright. It's very bright. It illuminates much brighter. So use that analogy and that visualization as what happens when you start losing body fat. You start to get more dense. You start to get tighter. You start to conserve energy more. And that's really what's going on metabolically. It's literally that. So I'll go through this slide here a little bit and give you a little bit of a rundown of how this all ties together. So when we talk about losing energy, these are the symptoms of losing energy, right? Low energy, weight gain, skin conditions, low T, poor libidos, poor sleep, gut issues, joint pain, brain fog, all these things that are just that bog you down, make you feel like shit. What's the cause here? Well, health just claims it as inflammation, right? Inflammation is the cause to all diseases. And I call it stress. We can call it, there's all different types of stress: mental, emotional, physical, energetic stress, food. There's all different types of food stress that could be like rancid, bad oils that could cause stress within. It could be overconsumption of carbohydrates. It could be not getting local food, which could throw off your circadian rhythm. It could be deficiencies, which could be nutrient deficiencies to play, not playing enough, not having enough love in your life, not having enough success in a certain area in your life. It could be, frankly, a deficiency in sunlight. It could be a deficiency in water, which we call dehydration. All these things cause inflammation, right? So we're looking to enhance these things, but that's what inflammation causes, these things. But what is inflammation? Well, we kind of answered the question in regards to weight gain. It's a loss of energy, right? So as a result of this, I just showed you this slide. You can see the density of two individuals, one who's leaner, one who has more body fat. Which one is going to have more energy overall, right? Metabolically. I think we know the answer now. So getting into the quantum level of things, what really makes us up, these atoms, these protons, these neutrons, electrons, our bodies are made of cells, signified right here. And those cells within them are made up of atoms, right? So we're getting just into deeper layer and just have a basic understanding of that. And that those atoms are made up of, or have, positive and negative charges, which we call protons and electrons. And how do we use this? Well, you have our cells made up of these atoms, but within those cells, so kind of taking it a step above atoms, so bigger than atoms, is what's called mitochondria. These are the motors of the cells. You have hundreds of mitochondria within every cell. And these mitochondria, what they do is they take the substances that you eat, that you drink, the oxygen that you breathe, and it converts it into electricity. You're literally an electrical being. You have an electrical charge, as I said. Every cell in your body has a negative 70 trilovolt charge to it. And it's being charged because of the mitochondria. It doesn't just happen. It's not just cool, you got to charge. No, you literally have these little ancient bacteria. That's what those mitochondria are. They're actually not your cells. They're bacteria within your cells that actually produce electricity, right? And then that's what gives you this battery, right? Your body is a battery. And so you're simply, think of your iPhone and how well it performs when you got 100% charge on it and you don't have a bunch of apps running, right? It's top notch, it's fast, it's good. But when you get in that low battery mode, the performance goes down, right? And then when you use the phone over years, the battery, it loses its ability to retain energy. So you lose the battery a lot faster, right? And when you got a lot of stress and a lot of things going on and you're using it a lot, it loses energy as well. So just think of that analogy right there. Your body is a battery. It does have a charge. So as we age, and it's not just aging, it's just the chronic stressors that we have in our life, right? It's the thoughts, it's the environment, it's the light exposure, the blue light exposure. I'm wearing these glasses right now because, it's getting towards sunset and I'm trying to limit my blue light exposure right now. And that has an effect on our ability to retain energy. Probably the most important organs that we have on us when it comes to managing our metabolism, our circadian rhythm, which is our sleep and day cycles, which is our hormones overall, and which has to do with our metabolism and our appetite and everything we want to hone in and master. It has to do with light. It has to do with light exposure. And so taking it back to the sun analogy, what happens when a star loses energy? It gets bigger. Well, that just I just want to kind of tie those things together and just go, this is how important sunlight is. This is how important natural light is. This is how important getting our circadian rhythm in tune is important with your metabolism and weight loss. I'm talking about all these things, but metabolic mastery, when you go through the modules and you go through everything, we got a nutrition plan, we got a hydration plan, and we got a light plan, right? Like those are the three things. If you master those, then your 80% of your foundation of health is solid. And then you can get into the advanced routines, and then you can get into the advanced strength training and lab testing and all these advanced factors that can benefit and speed up the process and enhance your mitochondria to produce more electricity, which when you're able to produce more electricity, going back to what happens when you lose weight, when you lose body fat, you gain more energy, right? And so when you're able to speed up your metabolism in this mitochondria, it naturally suppresses your appetite because you're collecting energy from different sources and you're able to retain it and hold on to it more. The reason why you got to eat so much is because you're not holding on to energy, and you got to eat more to continually, feed this machine that's not able to hold on to anything. So the cause of these energy leaks, as I mentioned, our environment, and ones that we can take control of right now is cell phone usage. Your exposure to digital technology is something that we can't get away from in modern age, but we can limit our usage, or we can mitigate it by getting more sunlight, by taking sunlight and light breaks, mitigating our kind of scrolling habits, right? We can just mindlessly be on technology, and the more conscious we become of everything that affects us, we can start making more choices in favor of our goals and what I would say our higher self, right? Your higher self is healthier, leaner, more energized, more in control, more consciously aware, all these things. Well, this is one aspect to the whole picture. So things that I would look at and getting rid of right away would be the AirPods, the wireless stuff. The reason why I say that, I know a lot of us use it, but it's the radiation that occurs with these AirPods is just immense. And there's actually light sensors in your ears that get confused. And it's basically like having, you tune the radio and you put it on a staticky station, and it's just constant static going on. And it's disrupting your circadian rhythm. And right in between here, you have the master hormone gland, the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, right? These glands are the master hormone glands of the entire body. And it throws off the whole circadian rhythm and the whole hormonal balance. And you're causing stress, you're causing inflammation, you're causing disruption within this, and you're losing energy. So kind of give you a stat right here, EMFs from AirPods, EMFs, which are electromagnetic frequencies, just simply the frequencies that are emitted from technology. And the closer it is to particular organs and the body, so distance does play a part. So if it's farther away from you, it's not going to affect you as much. So this is why I say AirPods are a big, like, get wired headphones, go old school again. They're 15, 20 bucks over at the Apple store, and they sound just as good, but you're reducing your EMF exposure tremendously, and you're conserving energy, right? You're conserving energy. Think about that. But you basically got a microwave on both ears when you got these AirPods going on. So keep that in mind when you're using the cell phone. Put it on speaker or have it wired, right? So that you can talk through the headphones. I just read something recently that Apple finally admitted that they came out and said, yeah, you should probably not put the phone to the ear. You shouldn't keep it in your pocket because this does cause cancer. This does cause issues. And I'm telling you right now, our technology is the latest cigarette scheme, right? It's causing so much disruption, so much stress in our body, all due to disrupting the mitochondria, disrupting its ability to produce electricity. So I'll get into these other things, but artificial light, blue light, it causes, if blue light is emitted throughout the day and at night especially, when your body is getting ready to calm down and to recover from the day, you're telling your body basically it's noon at 7 o'clock at night, right? When you got blue light emitting on you. So you try to mitigate that as much as you can, as much as possible. or just get natural sunlight. You know, you got windows and you can open the windows to let more of the natural light come in, the UV rays along with that, the infrared rays, the whole spectrum. You're going to be blending in light so that it doesn't make the blue light as toxic or stressful on your body. Sleep disruption, which is related to light exposure. It's related to EMFs. It's related to how you get up and the first thing that you do in the day, right? If you're getting sunlight first thing in the morning, that's the most important thing you can tell your body to say, hey, this is when I got up. And then therefore it's got a timing mechanism that's going to let your body know it's time to go to bed. So you got to start with a good day to have a good night. Mouth breathing. This is another thing that's going to cause stress. It's going to raise cortisol. It's going to cause more constriction in the body, which causes you to release more electricity instead of holding on to it and retaining it. And indoors, sunlight, being removed from the sunlight, as I mentioned, big factors there. So, Chris, I see you got your glasses on now. That's what's up, dude. Hell yeah. All right. So let me see. Is that the last one? Yes. So what I want to just make a point here is, you know, we are electric. Our bodies are electric. And the more we can retain this electricity, the better. And more specifically, like kind of getting into the proton electron aspects of things, you notice right here that I've put in a lot of negative charges right here. You may have, I told you the cells have a negative 70 trilovolt charge. Inflammation is just simply an imbalance of protons to electrons. You may have heard of like reactive oxidative species. When you get the reason why you take fish oil, for instance, for antioxidants, right? In berries, in fish oil, in fruits and greens, in these power foods that we talk about antioxidants. Oxidants are protons. They're positively charged ions. That's what they are. It's literally at the quantum level. Put all the nutrients and the antioxidants and the oxidants away, and it's just protons to electrons. An imbalance of protons to electrons, meaning too many protons, not enough electrons, means miscommunication in the body, and that means inflammation and loss of energy. The same thing goes on with your car battery, or any battery for that matter. A car battery, if it's got low water and low electrolytes in that water, it's not going to be able to conduct electricity as effectively, right? So it's not going to be able to start your car. It's not a powerful battery. It gets corroded. You got to replace the battery, right? It doesn't conduct electricity as well, or reserve or conserve electricity as much. Your body is a battery, the same thing. So with all that, we're going to talk about some things that are going to help with the retaining of energy, some things that you can implement without taking extra time out of your day. It's just things that you can use to optimize your environment as is. So there is a software called Iris. So there is two different softwares. I'll put it right now. I got the F.Lux, which is this free software, but there is some limitations to this free software in that it does change the color spectrum. And I don't know if that shows up on your screen, but basically you can kind of change the hue, right? To keep it very bright, blue light emitting, or very like a kind of like a dusk type of light. Now it's good in regards to reducing the blue light color, but what it's not good at is reducing the flicker rate. So something that you guys can do sometime, I don't know if you got any of these light bulbs in your house, but if you put your phone on slow motion camera and you go to one of those LED lights that they kind of look like incandescent light bulbs. They're trying to make them look like they're old school, like industrial rustic light bulbs, but they're LEDs. If you capture them in slow motion, if you just put your camera and record it in slow motion for 5 seconds and then replay it, you're going to see a flicker, a high-speed flicker rate that's going on. And we don't notice it from the naked eye, but what's going on through our exposure to this blue light, to the screen that I'm looking at you on right now, to the phone, to the car light, the headlights of the car. You can do the same thing with the car light of a car. You can capture it in slow motion. You're going to see the flicker rate. It's very erratic and stressful. And the more you use these glasses and the more you use these tools that I'm showing you here, the more sensitive you're actually going to become to the light around you. You're actually going to find it to be actually very disruptive, very stressful, in a way that just makes you more aware of your environment and how this actually does impact you. Because if it is, this is very common what you'll find. And Chris, I know you've been in the game for a while with the nutrition. It's like when you start eating clean and healthy, the stuff that you used to like really tastes toxic. Like it really tastes rancid. Some things, not all things, but the most of the things, it's like it really just it doesn't have the same hit as it once had before. And we can relate that to a toxic relationship in any shape or form, right? Like things used to be good and then it got really stressful and bad, then you leave them, and then when you may have come back to them and you realize, God, how was I even attracted to them? Don't want to be near them whatsoever anymore. It's because you removed the toxin away from you, and now you actually have polarity. You have awareness of like, okay, that no longer serves me. That's not good. So back to the Iris software as a tool, it reduces the flicker rate on top of the color. So this is taking care of the flicker rate plus the color, which flicker is very important and the color is very important. So keep that in mind. So the Iris software, this one you do have to buy. So you can buy the Iris software for, I think it's $2 a month, 14 bucks or 15 bucks for a lifetime. So, and that's per device. So keep that in mind. If you got multiple devices and you got to do it all over the place, you know, just pick and choose what you're going to be using the most if you got to be, you know, on a budget about it. But Iris software is the go-to source. F.Lux covers the color, but you need the flicker as well to really get the best impact as much as possible. Then moving on, Amazon, you can go and just purchase glasses, and I'll provide links after I post this. And actually, I'll just put it in the chat right now, since so these right here, red light glasses, I recommend wearing closer to bedtime, closer to sunset. You can really wear them anytime, but you know, if you're at home and you're moving around, these are dark. So, you know, for a lot of people, once when the light starts getting dim, it's hard for them to see, but these are good to put up at night. You don't have to, you know, there's red light screens that you can put on the TV and things of that nature as well, but these are really a good catch-all for all things around the house. I don't recommend driving with them, as these get pretty dark. So it's kind of like looking through, like you're in a red light room, you know, of a photo, like a old camera photo development room. So it removes all the light except for red light. So you just see the dark red hues, which are very restorative and regenerative. And what it does is it cues your body to say, okay, it's getting towards sunset. I can start to produce melatonin. We can calm down, lower cortisol, and get you ready for a good night's sleep. The first time I put these on, within 15 minutes, I was just knocked out, and it was like 8 o'clock at night when I put these on. It doesn't have the same effect to me as now, but it certainly does have me just have a good routine at night. And I notice a difference when I wear them versus when I don't wear them. Studies have shown if you're exposed to blue light at night, watching TV, looking from a screen, it suppresses melatonin production by 90 minutes at least. So if you're going to bed at 10 o'clock and you're watching the screen, then you're not producing melatonin until 11:30 at night, at least, when your body should be in a state of already getting into the secretion and production of that. And that's one of your body's most powerful anti-inflammatory hormones out there. Anti-inflammation, reducing body fat, right? Reducing inflammation, reducing body fat, conserving energy, recovering, and charging your body. It's literally you're plugging in and charging. Another thing, I didn't have this on here, but plugging in and charging, grounding is very important for that as well. So getting your bare feet to the ground. Cement, grass is best, especially when it's like dewy or wet, because water helps with the conduction of electricity. If it's wintertime, you can pour some hot water out on the ground and ground your feet too. but bare feet to ground is going to be the best thing for you to help just recharge the system organically, because the earth is really at its best times. Sunset and sunrise are the best times to do grounding, because that's when the earth has the most electrical charge. And that's going to allow you to actually collect. And there's been studies done on this, peer-reviewed research. This is not woo-woo. Powerful stuff to be able to recharge your body and collect electrons through another source, which is the earth. So that's a little bit of science behind that. And they've measured out it reduces inflammation instantly. So the more you do it, 45 minutes a day, you could break it up 15 minutes throughout the day. 45 minutes, 4 10-minute sessions, or break up 45 minutes however you want throughout the day, but it doesn't have to be all at once. But 45 minutes has been the peer-reviewed research, the benefit of getting the benefits of grounding, really. So keep that in mind as well.
Quick question.
Another blue light blockers that you can get for during the day use. These are kind of, I got like the old school, like blue blocker glasses. I use those for when I get up first thing in the morning. I got a 4:30 drive to go meet a client early in the morning. So headlights are gleaming, street lights are out and everything like that. And I don't want to be exposed to blue light at that time. So I wear blue blockers, which have more of a yellow tint to it. And I can use that at night or use that while I'm driving in the morning. And then when the sunlight comes out, I don't really need lights during the mid-morning when it comes to work or anything else. So I don't wear anything. But if I'm looking at a screen and I'm operating or doing any work from the office, I'm putting these on. So these are a good starting pair of glasses. You can get more like stylish ones. And I'll add another little hint here or tip is the clear ones only dispel like maybe 10% of the blue light. They are blue light blocking glasses, but they're crap when it comes to really being effective long term. So get yellow tinted glasses. Not all are created equal. Not all the yellow tints are created equal, but these UVEX ones are a good standard in terms of effectiveness. Style, that's a different story. But as far as effectiveness, these are good go-tos to start off at least. And just know that, 10% is better than nothing. I agree with that. But just know that we can go with better options when it comes to blue light glasses. You want to get the yellow tint to be the most effective. So just keep that in mind when you do that. So that's it for the breakdown of understanding quantum weight and how weight loss is really just about an energy exchange, protons and electrons. If you can conserve and retain more electrons, you are going to be a far more powerful and energized individual. And as a result to it, you're going to look and feel much more energized as well. So any questions from y'all?
Can you hear me?
Let me see here. It's not coming through on my end here, Sean.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's my phone. I'll type it.
Oh, okay. So yellow for day and red for night. Is that what you're asking? Yeah, that's what you want to do. So, I mean, red you could use at any time, but it's just a matter of where you're at and what you're doing and everything. They're the most effective at just blocking out everything. But at night, red ones are what you want to go with. And yellow during the day. Yep. All right. Anything else? Good to go? Cool. All right, Chris, you good? Awesome. Very good, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be posting this. Let me add just one little thing here too, guys. I'll be posting stuff on the school community page. When I come across some good information, anything that retains to what we've been talking about. There's a good study that I'd recommend you guys looking into. Everybody having kids. Look at the post that I put up about the blue light study that was done. This is back in like the 70s, maybe early 80s. Like this is not a new science per se. It's just coming out now as like the latest thing, so to speak, over the past 10, 20 years. It's really starting to catch wind now, just like intermittent fasting and keto and all this stuff. Like we go through fluctuations. This is something that I predict will stay, because I think this is the most foundational thing that we can get into when it comes to health, weight loss, and ultimately hormone optimization. But there's a post that I put together, or that I shared. It's a YouTube video of this study of how kids' behaviors completely changed when they went from, windows shut, blue light flicker, fluorescent lighting, to then natural lighting. And at GE, I think, was sponsoring it. GE Electric was sponsoring it in some way, and it was a scientist who was associated with Disney in some way. But he looked into it, and they recorded in the video. It goes over a recording of the behavioral differences between kids exposed to blue light versus exposed to incandescent light bulbs. And that's another thing I want to share with you guys here too, actually, while we're doing this. Let me share something with you. So incandescent light bulbs are actually in the process of becoming illegal to sell at retail stores. And we can make our assumptions and theories behind all that. But incandescent light bulbs, you can get on Amazon. If I can spell it right, incandescent. There we go. It's with an A. So you can get incandescent light bulbs on Amazon, which I would recommend to do, is to get the legit incandescent light bulbs, the old school, 40 watt, light them up, because I got all my light fixtures optimized with these. And stock up, because I don't know how long these are going to be available. But just something that you can do. Any LEDs that you have, you're boom, that's another environmental optimization and a huge hack. I mean, you're talking about the flicker rate, and you're talking about the brightness. And also there's another aspect to light, which is heat. We remember incandescent light bulbs have more heat, right? They don't have a flicker, and they have actually a lot of red light in them. It's like almost opposite. The LEDs have a high amount of blue, and incandescent light bulbs have a very low amount of blue and a lot of red. So they're very, very regenerative, and actually better to put on at night if you need to have lights. So incandescent light bulbs for the household, very worthy investment. I would recommend getting on those and just going with the old school incandescents. So that would be something I would recommend as well when it comes to your optimization there. All right, cool. Let's see. I think that's it for me, guys. Yeah, and Chris, you're talking about wearing the yellows while you're driving. Yeah, I agree. They make a big difference, especially at night. So have those on deck. You'll start to realize when you forget them, you're like irritated, because you realize how much they actually do affect you, and you know what it does to you as well. So it's just kind of like, why are you exposing yourself to this stuff? One little last kind of tidbit on this energy, and especially now that we're on the topic of light. It's been shown in research that insulin, when I'm telling you guys to get off carbs, blue light actually increases your insulin secretion to the magnitude of actually you eating carbohydrates. So
Wow.
you're trying to be on point and eating good. Blue light secretion or exposure stresses your body out and actually decreases insulin sensitivity, which is your body's ability to manage insulin and put it into muscle as opposed to fat. When you decrease insulin sensitivity, it means that you're losing energy and that your body stores it into fat. And that's why we want to get off carbohydrates, Sean and Felicia, is because we want to manage our insulin through our food intake. But you also can manage your insulin through light as well. All right, Chris, take care. Enjoy the fam. We'll be wrapping it up here too, guys.
Thanks, brother. I'll see you
guys got
soon.
any questions? Yeah, it might be on my end why I don't have I can't hear you guys right now. I don't know why, but I'll look into this and fix it for next time. See you. Take care.
Ooh.
All right, Sean, Felicia, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you. And we'll touch base later this week too. All right, take care.